Oh, God,
Come
he got
on.
it up quick.
Nice.
Dude, look how easy that was.
Hey, everybody, welcome to It's Just Bodybuilding Reacts.
It's back.
We're back with a reaction video, and we're going to have some fun today. Instead of watching one long video, we're going to watch two short videos that we got off Instagram. They're only a few minutes each, and we're just going to have a fun chat. I haven't watched either one of these in their entirety, so that's good. You'll be getting a real reaction, at least from me. I don't know who you guys watched these yet.
No, I watched part of the first one. I saw
Okay.
part of the first one.
Yes.
Okay. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
Ring the bell.
IamMutant.com. Go to IamMutant.com, get your all in, get your IsoSurge, and everyone should get on the gear. Use your codes, Dusty or Big Ron, whatever you want. Okay. What do we got first? We got like a classic old Gold's Gym video, don't we?
Yes.
From Venice.
Yes. Let me see if I
And
can
like
pull this up.
this was the magical time where literally every pro trained at one gym.
Yeah.
Like, it's people don't realize now every gym has a couple pros in it, but back then it was like Lee Haney, Gary Stridham. Look at these guys were all there every day. Charles Glass, Samir, multiple Mr. Olympias, all in the same gym. Dickerson retired by this point, but he's still training there every day. Gaspari's in there. Like, this is nuts.
Yeah, this was just like I love this because it popped up on my feed today, and I was like, "Holy crap!" It's running
Walker?
down the list.
Jimmy Walker.
I like how they just threw Jimmy
Mike
Walker
Christian.
in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Random.
Yeah.
Well, he's famous and he went there. You know,
Yeah.
so that works.
The early days of women's bodybuilding. It's evolving. At
Yeah, that was
Gold's
jacked
Gym.
back then
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
a female.
exactly. Oh, there's Mighty Mike Quinn.
I love it.
I like those glasses on Jerry Bell.
Yeah, and then some of like the celebrity personalities like Don the Ripper Ross, guys who used to write for the magazines, and
Yeah, some of these guys I don't even know, but obviously they're
they're
famous
actors.
or
Some of these guys are actors.
Okay.
Rick Valente. And look at the
Look at Tanya
behind the
Knight
neck
behind the
presses.
necker.
All the way down.
Oh, I loved Albert Beckles.
You know,
Agent
Brian
Cannon,
Buchanan,
there's the old
Yeah.
no waist.
Andres Calling, sold more posing trunks than anybody.
No kidding. All these guys in the same place is just crazy to me. And
Yeah.
Franco's still there.
Yeah.
Ray Hallett, she's an American Gladiator. Zap, wasn't she Zap?
I don't remember. It's too early.
Yeah. Diana Dennis. And then this is some Venice Beach, just a block down the road. Reggie
Man.
White, defensive end for the Eagles. And now, is he demonstrating how he can hold that
Hold
bar?
the bar while somebody
Or
takes
that
the
she
weight
will
off.
steal
I
the
don't know.
weight.
Yeah.
Richard Hurd. So there's like a Hollywood actor, right?
Yeah, these are
Athletes and actors, everyone training at Gold's Gym.
That would have been an incredible time.
wild. Oh, the
All the-
boat neck. That was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. So was this an advertisement for Golds, I wonder?
Yeah, they had just thrown it up. So I'm assuming that that's what this used to be.
It's like the
Look at the
intro
old
to
Golds
something, maybe.
logo.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a crazy time. And they had basketball nets out behind the gym, I guess. I don't know.
It is
Muscle
amazing,
Mania. Yeah.
I look back at these guys though, and I'll be honest, it's awesome and it's a little bit sad because I feel like we were fortunate enough to be at the very tail end of Venice Golds being Venice
I
Golds.
caught this very tail end. Yeah.
You know?
I remember in 95, I've talked about it, but I remember going there and I saw Hulk Hogan and Andrew Dice Clay
Yeah.
Right?
working out. And
Were they
Rowdy
working
Roddy
out
Piper.
together? Or you mean
No,
were
they're
both
just
training?
in the
Okay,
gym.
yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I remember I was going through the pro shop buying a Carbo Force.
Heck yeah, because you
109
needed that
grams
90.
of carbs for
Yeah.
those who want to know.
You need
Right?
that 100 grams of sugar, right? I'm buying a Carbo drink, and Andrew Dice Clay is like in there looking at, like, they had like, t-shirts and shit.
Yeah.
And I go, "Hey, you're the Dice Man." And he's like, "How you doing?" And I go, "Good." And he goes, "Yeah." And I go, you train here all the time?" He's like, "Yeah. Yeah, come here." And I was just like, "Oh man, good to meet you." And he's like, "Oh yeah." And I remember he had like he looked different, like, you know, because you see him in his leather jacket, like, yeah, the Dice Man. I mean, it was only a few years after the Dice Man thing happened.
Yeah.
Right.
And all of a sudden you see him in like a sweatshirt and like sweatpants, and he just looks different.
Yeah, of
and
course.
It's like, oh my God, you're Andrew Dice Clay. You look like a normal dude, you know? And he
uniform
doesn't talk quite like that. He talks like more normal. So it's just like funny. He's just like, oh yeah, and I'm from Canada. And he's like, oh yeah, good to meet you. Like, just weird. And I was just like, my mind was just blown. And then, like, you know, and then I was like, the one dude was on the preacher curl. He had his hood up.
Yeah.
And I just asked him how many sets he had left. He goes, we could work in with me. And then I was like, oh my God, that's Roddy Piper. And so I like worked in with Roddy Piper on the preacher curl, like, just funny shit, man. But just looking around the gym, and I'm like, everybody's here, you know. And that was the overlap with a lot of the 80s people were still there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then the new guys were showing up. So like Flex Wheeler was in the gym, and Chris Cormier was there, and Paul Dillette was there, and all those guys were there, right? So it was just this crazy, like, I'd look up on the bike, I'm like, oh, Mike Matarazzo's riding the bike up there. Oh shit. And then like I'd do a set, and I'd look up, you know, on the bikes they have up in the corners, you know?
Yeah.
And I look up, I'm like, oh damn, she's up there. Shit. Like, that's, you know, like, just crazy. And
I always did the opposite when I trained there, Ron, because like I went in and I would just try to train and be in the moment, and then I'd get done and go sit up on the bike and just ride and just watch.
Yeah.
Just be blown, because you from up there you can only see the first room completely, but you can see everyone kind of come in and out, and everyone ends up in there. And it was wild, because I had just grown up seeing like the old videos of the Battle for the Olympias and them posing over by the deadlift area where the light comes in. So you're seeing people do that in the same spot that you've watched in the shows, and looking across. It was amazing.
Yeah. And I remember one time, I can't remember if it was that first time, it might've been the very first time. There was this huge dude at the front, and I'm like, oh, I think that's that Jeep Svensson guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I started talking to him, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's Jeep Svensson. And he's like, yeah, I'm doing the Batman movie right now. They got me all painted up. You know, I've been filming the Batman movie. I got to go back tomorrow for another day. And then I can't remember which Batman it was. It was one of the terrible ones of like George Clooney or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can't remember which character Jeep Svensson was, but he was in it. And he was just huge, 400 pounds dude, like, just the craziest crowd, you know?
Yeah.
And
I thought it was cool because that crowd in there, at least when I started going, before anyone knew who I was on any level at all, I was just a kid in the gym that was training hard, and I really did my best to go in there and just train.
Yeah.
It was cool because a part of bodybuilding that I think has gotten lost is multiple people. I mean, that's the first time I met Cormier. He walked up to me and spoke, and he's like, "Oh, you're bodybuilding?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting started." I was very like, I didn't look like I was bodybuilding, you know what I mean? But it was just,
we had the shirt on.
Felt like the environment of the of like, because he just told me, he goes, I came over to talk because you're killing it, you know. So like they probably see a lot of kids come in and be blown away, but I thought that was such a positive thing back then. And I'm like, I'm trying to play it cool. He walks over, I'm like, Chris Cormier just talked to me. Like I played it off like as cool as I could, which probably wasn't that cool. But
I remember Mike Menser was training a kid. Mike Menser was training a guy when I was in there. Yeah. He was taking him around and putting him on machines, and they were doing the one all out set and the stretching and all that. And I remember that watching Mike train that guy. Yeah. It was funny.
I never met him.
I didn't meet him either. He was like totally paying attention to his client. I didn't want to bug him. Yeah. But it was just funny. I was just like crazy how many people were there. And then now it's just, you know, everyone's spread out. Everyone's got pros at their gym, right?
Yeah.
There's pros all over the place. But back then it was just this magical time where like, if you turned pro, you moved to LA.
Yeah.
Like
now, if you make any money at all, you move away from LA.
Yeah. Everyone's leaving LA.
I think Weeder had a big part of that too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like,
he wanted everyone there for the magazines.
Yeah,
he wanted to contract everybody, get them on, get the good ones on a cover, get them in the articles. You know, get all those ghost articles they need a model for. You know, bigger arms in 21 days. You know, and they need someone. If you're lucky, you get picked for the article, and you get to go get a arm workout shot. You know, but
those are
just
great.
A crazy time. And I also liked seeing the behind the neck presses in there because I can't even do that anymore.
All the way down, man.
Yeah,
I felt something crack.
too.
I felt something crack when I
must see my chiropractor from watching that.
Yeah. Hey, what's this other video you got, Ron?
So we don't talk about the strongman stuff, and Mitchell Hooper. We got a Canadian guy, Mitchell Hooper, who's like 2-time Arnold Schwarzenegger strongest man guy, and he's been kicking ass. And Jim, our boss at Mutant, he sent us this video of Mitchell and Thor going at it on the Circus Medley, which was the final event of the Rogue Invitational this past weekend. And we just thought we'd throw it up and just see how strong these guys are. And So let's just throw it up. I think the Circus Medley, it's the final event. So it's 4 lifts. It's a 210-pound kettlebell overhead pressed. And then it's a 253-pound seared dumbbell overhead pressed. And then it's a barbell that's 375 and a barbell that's 405.
Jeez.
So let's crank this up. So he pounded the kettlebell, no problem. 253-pound dumbbell. Damn.
What a beast.
And over to Thor. Where's Thor? He's just getting to it.
To the sky. Now on to the 375 surface axle bar.
So Thor's building his strength back up because he had tore his pec. So his pressing's a little down.
So the first bar here is 375.
Look at this. He pops up as nothing.
Dang.
Just pass. 1 minute in. 1:45.69. Canadian Beast Man.
They're 1 minute in. So they're kind of in a hurry, but want to make sure they preserve their strength.
Yeah, you can only go so fast on something like that.
And this one's 405. Jesus Christ. Oh, God, he got it up quick.
Nice.
Dude, look how easy that was.
Man. And his time on that.
Look at the size of Thor next to him.
No kidding.
Damn.
Inspiring Strongman. Thank you to Thor and
That's cool.
Man. And his time was 111 seconds. So it was like less than 2 minutes.
You know what?
All 4 of those.
I don't know anything about this stuff, but I can still watch it and get pumped up. Like just watching even that 1 minute clip, I'm like, I know what he's doing. You know what I mean? I'm like, get it over your freaking head. By the time that he's doing, you know what I'm saying? It's like I never follow a lot of strongman, but it's like when we've had it at the Arnold, or the Olympia or whatever. I always get pumped up to see it at the Arnold, even though it's not something I followed before. I don't have to. Like with bodybuilding, you kind of have to know who's who and know who the good guys are. But strongman, you could just get in there and start, getting pumped for these guys.
Well, they compete a lot more than I realized. So Mitchell just did another competition a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And I wanted to see if I could find it real quick. That's why I was staring at my phone. I couldn't. But he won the first 4 events. So he technically won the title had he chosen to not even do the last event.
No kidding.
Like he won because usually you win
points,
one and you take a third and that comes at overall points. He won all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, his numbers, a lot. I've just kind of started doing a little bit of homework in there. He's young in the game, but a lot of people are saying if he stays this trajectory, he'll become one of the best ever. I mean, he's a big guy, but he's not as like these guys, and he's just manhandling.
Yeah. So he won the Rogue Invitational, but he actually only won 1 event.
Okay.
Yeah, which is more normal.
Yeah, because he got second in several events, but a different guy beat him in each event.
Okay.
Because certain guys are just really good at certain events, but then they get 10th in the next event, right? You know? So it's being the overall strongest man is what really matters, like being consistently strong, because some events are more, single lift power, and some are more like, multiple objects in a time, and
endurance.
So it's being endurance and stuff like that. And then some guys, they might beat you in a couple events, but then they don't finish an event, and you're like, oh shit, then they can't beat you, Yeah. So he wound up winning that, and Thor got second.
Yeah.
He didn't win that circus medley, by the way, the 4-lift that we just watched. He actually got second. Some guy from another country, Luke.
Oh, no kidding.
I don't know what flag that is, if it's Finland or I can't remember which flag that is, but he beat him. So let's see, Scottish flag.
Okay.
Yeah. The blue cross. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna.
Well, it was a tiny little icon. It was a tiny little icon. I had to blow it up.
Yeah.
So
but it's a wild to see. I mean, even seeing some of the practice they were doing, the Olympia weekend, pulling 700, 750 in a garage with a dog walking around and two people, like, it's just so like, just normal for them. Like, I don't know if you saw those videos, Scott, but it's like they're kind of like talking like we are, and Ed's talking to Mitch, and then he reaches down to 750, no straps or anything, and stands it up. We're talking inches away from guys on each end that are just sitting there, and then a dog walking. I'm like, I need way more focus than this for half of the way. We're going to get some great content that I'm looking forward to everyone watching on Mutant's page with him, because he's always doing fun stuff. He's got a great personality, and he's, wildly strong. So
here, throw this one up. Throw this one up real quick. We don't even need to warm up into it. You can just throw it up. Got some crazy.
Oh, this is my favorite one.
And then look at these big blocks they're pulling up. Look how much, 500-pound blocks.
Up the steps.
Look how he was jumping up the steps too.
And they're jumping up the steps, right? Boom, 600-pound blocks.
You should start doing that, Dusty. When the knee heals up, you just
so you fall on stairs. I can barely walk.
We'll get you a 500-pound block or something.
Look at him running. Look at him running with that yoke. That's crazy.
Yeah,
and those are 100-pound plates on there, so he's running with 400 plus the apparatus, so it's like 500 pounds on his back sprinting down the track. So, but and they're in an awful hurry to get to the top of that.
Yeah,
as
bodybuilders,
small men, so breathing is really easy.
Yeah, as bodybuilders, we get asked to help people move a lot. I bet you that guys like Mitch get asked even more. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
like pay me $10,000 to help you move.
Yeah,
yeah. I've had people ask me, "Hey Ron, can you help me move?" I'm like, "I'll just pay for a mover for you."
Yeah.
Can I just?
You're
that'd
big.
be my favor.
You're big.
Yeah.
You look strong.
You must love to move fridges down.
Oh yeah, I got some fun stuff for you to do. You like lifting things up, right?
Yeah, it'd be a challenge.
Yeah.
I know. No, man, it's humbling. We think of all the weights we lifted and with perfect form, with everything lined up just perfectly.
Yeah.
And then I watch these guys sprint down the track with 500 pounds on their back and just like all the things that can go wrong. And I just think, Jesus, So I would have a lot of respect. So I'm glad we watched those videos because, I think some people skip over that stuff. Some bodybuilders, they're scrolling and they don't stop at that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't stop at bodybuilding stuff. I watch Strongman.
I don't want to watch you do rear delts.
Way more fun. Yeah. Let me watch you with a 40-pound dumbbell for 15 reps. No, I want to watch Mitchell lift up a semi.
Yeah. You ever see like car axles getting picked up, stuff like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So fun stuff. Just remember, keep your mind open. Look at these other athletes that are lifting crazy weights and use it to motivate you to do something. Get out of your comfort zone, because none of this stuff looks comfortable at all. And that's one of the big takeaways from Strongman is there's no comfort anywhere in that zone. And I think as bodybuilders, we have a lot of comfort in our zone. And it's good to just remind yourself, So
think about the difference, right? Like a powerlifter, you show up, you know what you're doing today. They don't.
Yeah, they don't quite. They might know
I mean,
kind of
an
what's going on,
but they don't know exactly. Like you come in and you've prepared to deadlift, and you know what you're probably going to lift today, as far as your reps and your goal and all that. Same thing with your bench. Same thing with your squat. These guys show up and they have an idea of what's going to happen. I mean, I watched that medley and I'm thinking to myself, well, you just did 2 sets with the single arm overhead before now going. So now your strong arm is tired.
Yeah.
Before you go to a regular press. And then they're also axle. So it's not even like a bar. It's gigantic. I'm like, yeah, I'll just stay over here at the bodybuilding land and pretend we're strong.
Yeah.
Knowing better.
Yeah. I remember at the Arnold one year, I sat in the very front row for the finals. They had the final event of the Strongman was, I think it was like a 200-pound dumbbell, but they had to lift it up, press it, drop it to the floor, lift it up, press it, drop it to the floor as many times as they could in a minute, I think.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It was like 200 pounds or something,
it was something
like that.
Crazy.
And awkward, like you were mentioning, Dusty, a wide handle.
Mm-hmm. So they were all coming out and they were putting it up, press, drop, putting it up, press, drop. And they're using one side because they got a strong side and the technique and they're just good at it. And then Brian Shaw came out and he alternated arms.
I remember that.
Smoked everybody. And I was like, he's the only guy alternating. Go left and then next time right. And he was alternating. And I was like, oh shit, he's got this event down. He knows exactly what he's doing on this one. And he won the whole thing, you know. But that was impressive, that seeing them up close, hoisting, throwing that dumbbell around, that big fat handle sear dumbbell, whatever the hell they had.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that. Was my favorite part of the night. I was sitting 20 feet from Branch and Dexter showing down for the Arnold, and my favorite part of the night was watching Shaw throw that dumbbell around.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's entertaining. Like you can't help but get into it, especially like you understand what they're doing now, right? You never knew anything about it before. You don't know who all the guys are. You might know a couple, but it's still like really fun to watch. And you know what I think part of that is because you're seeing someone up there like giving their all. You know what I mean? They're like literally giving everything they've got to that. And I think that we can all relate to what that's like, you know?
And I remember when they brought everyone out at the end for the awards, and there was like a few guys that didn't do the dumbbell, and they brought them out, and the one guy had like his arm in a sling, and the other guy had like an ice pack wrapped on his elbow, and the one guy came out with his knee, like he came out with his knee all braced up, and they just like waved at the crowd because they like got taken out by the earlier events.
Yeah. Or like I tore my bicep, but I just kept competing through it. I just tried my best,
It was like 3 out of 12 guys didn't finish. I'm like, that's not a good percentage. Like if someone said, hey, do you want to do this event? Only like 8 out of 12 guys or 9 out of 12 guys are going to finish. I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
25% of you are going to be very badly injured before the end of this.
Yeah. Bodybuilding, we're most likely all going to make it to the night show,
Yes. I will have a very safe chest and bicep workout tonight. Very safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
ring the bell.
And remember, IamMutant.com. Get your ice search. Get your all in it. Everyone, get on that gear. Dusty, Big Ron, those are your codes. Use them. Thanks for watching. It's Just Bodybuilding Reacts.